Welcome back. I'm Dan,
And I'm Joe.
and today, Joe, more so than myself, is going to tell you about this upcoming Super Bowl. So, Joe, what do you got?
Well, folks, for our international friends out there, obviously the Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event in the United States. And obviously, it's held once a year, is what our Australian friends would call gridiron, we call football. Obviously, our British friends would protest that, but this is our form of football. It's going to be held Sunday in the United States, February 9th, Super Bowl 59. The two teams will be, one is the Kansas City Chiefs. They will face the Philadelphia Eagles. Kickoff in the United States is 6:30 p.m. Sunday evening. If you're in Thailand like us, that is 6:30 Monday morning. Now, where will the game be held? It will be held in the Superdome in New Orleans, home of the New Orleans Saints. In New Orleans, for our international friends, I'm sure most of you know this already, is in Louisiana. This marks the 8th time that the Super Bowl is going to be played here in the Superdome in New Orleans. No other city besides Miami has hosted as many Super Bowls. So there's just a little background. And of course, if you're in America, it's going to be on Fox, or one of the major cable stations in the United States, and it will be live streamed all over the world. Now, to tell you about these two teams, Kansas City is making its third straight Super Bowl appearance. They have become the first team in the modern Super Bowl era to have a chance at a three-peat. They have won the last two championships. Matter of fact, that this is the 5th Super Bowl appearance for the Kansas City Chiefs in the last 6 years. They've advanced to the American Football Conference Championship game 7 years in a row. So this team is they're used to winning. They've won a lot. This Super Bowl is also a rematch of between the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. In 2022, the Chiefs beat them 38-35, overcoming a 10-point halftime deficit. So there you go. There's history with these teams. So again, we're going to cover some of the players here in a second. The Chiefs entered the postseason as the American Football Conference's #1 seed. They had an NFL best record of 15 wins, 2 losses. So the Philadelphia Eagles, the National Football Conference, they were the #2 seed. They had a regular season record of 14 wins and 3 losses. And to get to the Super Bowl, they won 3 straight playoff games. So the coaches for these teams, the head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs is Andy Reid. Andy Reid was also the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles for 14 seasons, from 1999 to 2012. So there's history there. The current head coach for the Eagles is Nick Sirianni, and he also began his coaching career as an assistant coach working for the Kansas City Chiefs from 2009 to 2012. Both teams have been winning organizations since 2004. Only the Patriots have more combined playoff wins than the Chiefs and Eagles. So these are 2 winning organizations. Now, let's talk recent Super Bowl history. Obviously, last year, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, beating the San Francisco 49ers 25-22. So the Chiefs, again, since 2020, they've won, they've won in 2020. They lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've won pretty much. This is the 5th time in the last 6 years they've been in the Super Bowl. So we said that at the beginning of the video. So again, the Chiefs are used to winning, just like the Eagles. Eagles have had a very solid, an extremely solid organization. Now, so we're going to hit the players here. We're going to talk about the players. First, we're going to cover the Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you look out for? Of course, you have to start with Patrick Mahomes, the best player, I believe, in the NFL. Oh, he's the quarterback. For those of you international folks, he is the quarterback, the most important position on a football field. Patrick Mahomes this season hasn't had his most dynamic season passing. But however, he's still in clutch time. He's still the best in the NFL. He's mobile. And when it comes down to tight games, Patrick Mahomes constantly delivers for the Chiefs. We have rookie wide receiver sensation, Xavier Worthy. He is probably the team's top big play weapon this year. He has straight quickness, straight line speed. He led all Chief receivers this year with 6 touchdown catches during the regular season. So expect Patrick Mahomes to look for him. He is going to bring the speed for the Chiefs. Now, of course, we have future Hall of Fame tight end Travis Kelsey, who's just finishing his 12th season. He remains Patrick Mahomes' biggest target. Dan, you tried to say something.
No, nothing.
All right. He's obviously a Hall of Fame tight end. He's been to over more than 10 Pro Bowls. This year, he logged a career low 8.5 yards per catch, but he still led the team with 97 receptions. And of course, on defense, you have stud defensive tackle Chris Jones. He's one of the best interior defenders in the NFL, leading the Chiefs' fourth-ranked defense. He had 61 quarterback pressures. He's a 6-time All-Pro. He's racked up 9 tackles for losses, and he is the anchor to defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo's unit. Then, of course, the Chiefs have a stud linebacker named Nick Bolton, and he is also at the heart of Spagnuolo's defense. He excels not only in defending as a run defender. He has a team-high 106 tackles, but he also knows how to blitz the quarterback. So he is all around an excellent linebacker. He also deflected 6 passes and logged 11 tackles in the backfield. So one more defensive player I want to tell you about here for the Kansas City Chiefs is cornerback Trent McDuffie. He is the top cover man for Kansas City. He led the team with 13 pass breakups. According to Pro Football Focus, they graded him as the 3rd best cornerback in the NFL this year. And of course, Harrison Buckner, who is coming off a knee surgery in November, who he is the field goal kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. It looks like he's recovered from his surgery because in the playoffs, he has been money making field goals. All right, so we covered the Chiefs players. Quickly, let's cover the superstars for the Philadelphia Eagles. And of course, Jalen Hurts is their quarterback out of Alabama. Now, at times, he has struggled throwing the football this year. And, this offense for the Eagles is more of a run-first offense. They have one of the best offensive lines in the game. As far as ball control, that's where the Eagles have made their money this year. They have just 1 turnover in 7 playoff games since 2022. But Hurts, he can also scramble, and of course, with the world famous tush push, the Eagles are unstoppable on that play. So, as a short yardage runner, he has 64 career scores, including in the playoffs. Of course, the big gun on the Eagles offense is Saquon Barkley. He's had one of the best statistical seasons in NFL history. Saquon Barkley, of course, was drafted by the New York Giants. Somehow the Giants botched this, let him go as a free agent, and he ended up on the Philadelphia Eagles. So he eclipsed over 2,000 rushing yards this year. And he's obviously a favorite to win the MVP, most valuable player. So he has already this year has over 21 carries for more than 20 yards. So he is their X factor on offense. The Kansas City Chiefs, if they're going to win this game, have to stop Saquon Barkley. And I believe the Chiefs need to force Jalen Hurts to beat them. Make Jalen put the game in his hand and throw the football. That's not to say the Eagles don't have stud wide receivers. A.J. Brown, the Eagles' top downfield threat, averages 16 yards per catch with Devontae Smith on the perimeter. And he's had over 1,000 yards receiving in 5 of his first NFL seasons. And of course, the stud offensive line by the Eagles, anchored by Lane Johnson, this year is probably the best offensive line in the NFL. On defense, you have Jalen Carter. In just his 2nd NFL season, has emerged as one of the league's most disruptive defensive tackles. He's a stud physical specimen. He's physical on that defensive line, and he's led the Eagles with 12 tackles for loss. Linebacker Zach Burn went from off-season flyer to an all-pro stud under the direction of defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. He's always around the ball, and he's forced 5 fumbles this year. And now the Eagles have some rookie cornerbacks, Quentin Mitchell, Cooper DeJohn have helped, and they've really come in and helped that Eagles secondary. So, folks, there's the key players. And like I said, I believe the Eagles have the better overall roster. If I had to pick a better roster, I would say the Eagles have a slight edge. However, the Chiefs have the edge in the most important position, and that position is at quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a stud. Patrick Mahomes is a type of quarterback, as we've seen already in the league, that he can lift, he can make the team better. He can pick up this team and carry the team if need be. Now, I think the Eagles have the slightly better overall team, but I think the Chiefs have the better quarterback. No doubt about it. These are the 2 best teams in the NFL this year. So, what am I going to advise you to do if I had to pick this game? As of the time of this video, 69% of the betting public is in Vegas and around the world is betting on the Philadelphia Eagles. The line, the Chiefs, depending on what line you were looking at in Vegas, the Chiefs are a 2-point favorite. Some lines have it at 1.5. So what Vegas is telling you that this game is going to be close. The over and under is 48.5. So if you put a gun to my head, I had to pick. I'm picking the Chiefs to win a very close game by maybe by a field goal. And I'm going to shock you. Although many people believe this thing is going to go over in points, I'm going to say it goes under. I say the Chiefs win something like 23-20 with the game going under. There you go.
Anything else, Joe?
No.
All right,
Chiefs
folks.
and under.
Please like, subscribe, and bang the notification bell. Have a good night or day wherever you are.